Hello, Year 3. It's the 14th of January 2021 today. What we've got today is we're going to be looking at solving problems again, looking at bar method, using our times table knowledge, our division knowledge, solve quite simple problems, okay? And then we'll be finishing this unit of problem solving and multiplication and division on Friday, and then we'll be moving to length, measurement and length on Monday. So perhaps think about if you can find any rulers, any measuring tapes, anything with centimeters or meters on. Okay, we have got packs at school that we are giving out. If you'd like one of those packs, I think we'll be giving them out on Friday and perhaps sometime next week as well. Okay, that's worth looking out for on your classroom project. Okay, back to the maths lesson. Yesterday, you were great. We've looked at some of your work using your knowledge of times tables to solve one-step problems. You weren't quite there yet at drawing bar models to represent the problem. The bar model is purely a representation, a sketch to help me solve maths problems. And you use it all the way up to school, into year 6, and then into secondary school as well. So it's worth practicing to visualize a word problem into a little bar diagram that makes it easier to solve. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm just going on to a fluency first. Okay, we haven't got times tables today. You can do times table rock stars. What I want you to do is to just look at this question quickly. Okay, it's a quick question. Use the array to complete the number sentences. 3 times 4. Try and do it as quickly as possible to recall those number facts. And then work out the questions associated number sentences. Okay, now looking at the second part, hopefully that shouldn't take too long. Hopefully the second question, if we remember what these signs, these inequality signs are, okay? So we know something's equal if it's in balance, or got the same amount of one side of the equals to the other side of the equals sign, okay? So the two sides are in balance. Imagine a scale, they're in balance. We've got more weight on one side, we've got a greater weight. The crocodile, we always remember, the children usually remember the crocodile, or the mouth of the crocodile eats the biggest number. The crocodile eats the biggest number. The biggest number would be this side. For this, a smaller amount would be there. For this side. Okay. Obviously, the opposite for this side. Greater than, less than. I'm sure the children will quickly do that. Okay, so you've got 5 minutes to answer those questions. Set your timer and record your time. And you can tell me how long it took on Classroom Dojo. Okay, the next slide. We're moving on to the next slide. Okay, we're going to use the bar model to solve multiplication and division word problems. It's just to deepen thinking by problem solving so that we can work out the length of Andy's shape. And that will become apparent with the first question. Okay, I'm just going to move on to the next slide. Okay, here, just put on the screen. So here we have, let's read the problem. Problem solving, multiplication and division 2. Discover we've got 2 individuals on the carpet, Andy and Isla. Andy has put 3 blocks end to end to make a new shape. What is the length of Andy's shape? Isla makes a shape that is 32 centimeters long. How many blocks does she use? Okay, so we've got, let's go back onto, this is Andy, is put 3 blocks together. First thing I'd like to do, just to ask, what type of shape are Andy's blocks? What type of shape are Andy's blocks? Okay, so that's the first question. Okay, just to help you answer that, here we have a cube. Okay, all the lengths of the sides are the same, just like a dice, like a cube. So we can see that Andy isn't using cubes, he's using this type of shape. Can anyone remember what type of shape we call this? In fact, I'll give you a clue. It's a cuboid. Cuboid. Okay, so Andy is using a cuboid. And that means that at least one of the sides is longer than the other. So we have a length. We call that the length. The longer side is the length. Okay. We also have the width and the height. Okay. So that's the cuboid. We have length, width, and height. Okay. I'm just going back to the other screen. So there we are. We have Andy, and there is his cuboid. There's the length. The length is how many centimeters? It's 8 centimeters. The width is 4 centimeters. And the height of the cuboid is 4 centimeters. Okay, now we know that Andy has put the 3 blocks. Look at the pictorial representation of the little picture of Andy. He's put 3 blocks. And he's put 3 blocks end to end to make a new shape. Okay. Isla makes a shape that is 32 centimeters long. How many blocks does she use? We know Andy has put 3 blocks. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so this is our sharing. We're sharing this together. Andy's put 3 blocks together. We know that each of these length is 8. 8. 8. Okay. Remember, it's not just 8. It's not 8 meters. It's not 8 books. It's not 8 flowers. It's 8 centimeters. The unit is really important in answering these type of questions. So we want to know the length of Andy's shape. Okay. So we've got the length here. That's the length of Andy's shape when we're laying them end on end. So we know our 8 times table. 3 times 8 is 24. Okay. And then I've written that in a sentence. The length of Andy's shape is 24, including the units, which is centimeters. So that is 24 centimeters. Now, the second part of the question, we've answered 1A, and now we go on to 1B. Isla makes a shape that is 32 centimeters long. How many blocks does she use? Now, you might say, I know my 8 times table. I know that Isla has added 1 more block. Because we know that 4 times 8 is 32. 8, 16, 24, 32. And I could add another 8 on here for Isla's and put 32 up here. Isla's little bar diagram. But are we 100% right about that? Because what if she puts her shapes end on end? What I mean by that is, what if Isla puts her blocks this way? What can anyone remember what length this is? What length is that? It's width. The width was, remember the length was 8. We call it the width. Okay. The width was what? The width was 4. So now our bar diagram is represented by a number of 4s. And we've got, we know it's at 32. And we know that she can do it like this. 32 divided by 8 is 4. So we now know that she has used 8 blocks and she's put them width to width. Which will give the length of 32. 8 times 4 is 32. Same length, but it's using more blocks. Okay, so there's more than one way to lay these cuboids or blocks into a length that's 32 centimeters. Lay them width to width or length to length. So we've got 2 different answers. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. How long is the new shape that has been made? Let's have a look at this shape. Okay, we know this longer length is what? We know the length is what? We know the length is 8. We know the width is what? That's correct. Of course, it's 4 centimeters. So each of these is going to be 4 centimeters. That's represented in our bar diagram. Let's count up in 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Okay, so we can represent what? How do we write that as a number sentence? We go 7 blocks or 7 lots of 4. 7 blocks with a width of 4 centimeters each. Give me a total length of the whole shape, the whole new cuboid. So what I've done is I've put these cuboids together and I've got a new longer cuboid. So the shape of the new cuboid is 28 centimeters long. Okay, question 2. Think together. Which tower is taller? How much taller is it? Okay, so tower A. Work out how we're using the same blocks. Xyla. How tall is the new tower? Tower A. How tall is tower A? What's this length here? Go back to the block, you'll find it's 4. So let's count how many 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So tower A is going to be 5 times 4, which of course is 20. What? We use the unit of centimeters, so it's 20 centimeters tall. So we know the tower A is 20 centimeters tall. It's very hard to write. You'll do it much neater in your book. Okay, tower B. What was the length? What was the length of the block? And remember, of course, it was 8. Tower B is 2 lengths of 8, which gives me a total. 2 times 8 is 16. So which tower is taller? Tower A. Tower A is taller. How much taller is it? One's 20 and one's 16. How much taller is it? I'm going to put 16 in my head and count on. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's 4 centimeters taller. 4 centimeters taller. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at question 3, our challenge. It's quite an interesting question. Okay, first thing I will do is when I'm looking at it, is to perhaps draw it out and then just label it. I always find in maths labeling things makes things a lot easier. I know that's 4. I'm just putting 4, even though that's 4 centimeters. I can always add the units after. 4 there, 4 there. Okay, what's the length again? This length again is 8. Okay, so let's work out how many 4s I've got. 3 times 4, it's 12. So the length of this piece there is 12. What about this section, this length? What's the number sentence? It's 2 lots of 8. I know my 8 times table. So here I've got 16. I'm going to add those. I'm going to add my 10s first. 2 10s is 20. And 6 and 2 is 8. Oh, I'm very pleased with myself. I think I've got the right answer. Fantastic. 28. Is there something that Mr. Jones is missing? Is there something that Mr. Jones is missing in this question? Units. 28 what? It's not 28 kilabs. It's not 28 meters. It's 28 centimeters. Now, I'm pleased with that answer. See how I've labelled this diagram. See how I've labelled it. Really good thing to do in maths. Yeah, really good idea. Puts everything together and it helps your brain work out the problem. A bit like bar diagrams. Bar diagrams do exactly the same. Okay, so it's over to you now. We've got, let's have a look at the next. We've got some more problem solving. First question is around jam tarts, I think. That's making me hungry. It's nearly dinner time. So I'll be off at lunch. Hopefully, I'll be seeing some of this work coming my way on Classroom Dojo. And also just like to remind you, try and find those measuring, either a ruler, tape measure, anything like that. We're also sending out pieces of wool for 1 meter long. That's for next week, next Monday, just preparing everyone. We will be issuing resources from school if you'd just like to get in touch. I think we'll probably be doing it Friday and sometime next week. So if you'd just like to get in touch, if you do need any extra resources, please let us know. Okay, year 3, over to you. If you're having trouble getting on our link, I'll just leave that on for a few seconds and then we do down page 130. Don't do 139, it's just down. Okay, year 3, I will be doing another maths lesson tomorrow on Friday. Keep well, stay safe, and I hope you're all doing great. See you soon. Bye.